Oh, it's over. Okay, I'm free. I'm free. Perfect damage. Oh, that character was so bad, dude, and I have to do it again. Oh, that is the worst part about this, that I have to do it again. I don't want to do it again, but I will. Human Fire Elementalist. The worst part about that is that I have to go through all of that all over again. Like all the effort spent into not dying, only to end up dying regardless. Yeah, console. Wow, you should really stop playing Sif Muna. I'm pretty sure when you stop going Sif Muna with your human fire elementalists, they will get better. In fact, I think I don't want to go Sif Muna anymore. It is such trash. I am gonna go for Vehumet in this game. I am so done with Sif Muna. It needs. I don't know. I don't know. It needs to be less trash. Last stream we were suggesting changes to Sif Muna. I do think that no matter what, Sif Muna should give you spells early on. But the thing is that spells early on is Behemoth's thing, and Behemoth is guaranteed to give you spells early on that are going to be good, that are going to let you kill things. So Sif Muna not doing that, or Sif Muna giving you spells, still has a chance of not letting you kill things. You have 3 6 streaks. I think I have 4 in the main account. Yeah, wait a second. Um, yeah, in the main account I have 4 6 streaks for optimal spam whenever I go for that command. I guess optimal spam would be would be getting an infinite streak, but I'm not good enough to get like such a long of a streak. Or rather, I think I may be good enough for that, but I don't think I'm patient enough to actually go through characters like the one that I just had for streaking. I feel like I would just end up killing that kind of character as it happened. Um, it is only like the combination of me being exhausted of having such a weak character and having bad rolls on a fight, and that is how you lose the streaks. Um, Maybe that's why I don't get so many streaks. You don't like using Conjure Flame, but it has offense and defense purpose. With respect to offense, all undead monsters with low intelligence will just walk right into a flame column. Yeah, yeah. But I don't think Fire Elementalist needs helps with that kind of character or with that kind of monster. Like if you think about it, I didn't die because I didn't use Conjure Flame. Like that didn't really have anything to do. We got past the early game without Conjure Flame just fine, and at the point where I was in the game, like it wasn't necessary. It wouldn't have done anything anyway because I was a 3 um, and I was like unable to move anyway. Even if I hadn't been a 3, I wouldn't be able to afford dancing around to try to make a Reaper step into a cloud of fire that wouldn't even deal enough damage anyway. We got a staff. Let's see what we get here. It's trash. We're leaving it on the floor. So we got Book of Pain and Staff of Death. Most people would go for Necromancy at this point. But I hate Necromancy. Necromancy is a misery, so I'm not doing that. D2 Adder, but I have Foxfire. I think Foxfire wins me this fight. Yeah, with most other characters that would have been dead, especially considering how the other got a pretty good hit on me and it had support. But Fire Elementalist is powerful early on. It's just that I didn't get anything past the starting book. With respect to defense, you can cast Conjure Flame at a choke point. If the monster doesn't breach the flame column, it gives you time to escape or use ranged attacks on them. Yet again, like I am not going to learn Conjure Flame with this character. Let me change the title because I am not going to go Sif in for a couple of months. Let's change the title. Okay, that is done. I should probably learn Scorch, but yeah, if you find monsters in corridors, I just get out of the corridor and mash Foxfire, and that kills everything. You're not going to go SIF for a couple of months. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That could have also been a good title, but I ended up going for a small edit of what I had already, just for like quickness. Maybe next Monday I'll have a title that is like I'm not gonna go SIF for a couple of months, which is entirely true. Like Sif now has gone like way lower in my tier list after that. It felt bad. It felt so bad. Uh, Gods are among the very few areas of the game where you like can guarantee some degree of consistency. By going a god, you get to choose what set of beneficial effects you get for sure out of all the gods that exist in the game. And Sifmuna's good things are not nearly as good to be worth it compared to other gods that exist in the game. Um, so, with that out of the way, let's train some fire magic and some conjurations. You just ran into Sigmund with a free sight. Thank God for Cirque. Yeah, I have the perfect emote for that. There we go. That is a good stuff. I got it for Sigmund because Sigmund is the kind of thing that you see very early in the game. So whenever you're watching a Crawl streamer, you can always go for the Sigmund mode. And it also has uses outside of Crawl streams. It's just like a dude staring at you smugly and drinking some water or whatever it is. Um, Sigmund is a Crawl mascot. Yeah, also Grinder and pretty much all of those egregious early game uniques that very frequently kill you, like Kijif, maybe even Crazy Youth, Erolcha. Yeah, I want emotes from some of those. Um, if I ever get to partner, I would have emotes for a bunch of Dungeon Crawl Stone sub uniques, but I don't think it will happen. To get to partner, I need an average of 75 viewers, and I've been taking a look at that viewer count in recent days. I've seen it peak as high as 17 with no raid, so that's pretty good. Like a year ago, I was stuck at, I don't know, like 6. So that's a pretty good improvement, but it is still a long way to go from 15, 17 to 75, and that is has to be an average. I've heard from people that you shouldn't even bother to apply for partner until you have an average of 100. That's what I've heard. So yeah, we're like a long way to go when it comes to that. I am going to turn on spellcasting, I think. No, I already trained spellcasting to 4 conjurations of fire magic, I guess. So I can have flame wave. And yeah, it's only a matter of finding Behumet now. And yeah, oh man, I really wanted to do Sif Muna, but Sif Muna is misery. It is not something that you should go. And I tapped accidentally the snake, and I almost killed myself on the poison. I should not press tab. I was doing that a lot with the previous character because I didn't have any spells and I had a +9 hand crossbow and 8 slaying. This D2 has so many snakes. I am a bit surprised. Yeah, Crawl is a very niche game not many have heard of. The other day, or like, well, not only the other day, but every now and then we get people in the Discord, not my Discord, the Roguelikes Discord, that are like, how is this game so unpopular if it's so incredible? And well, it's just a matter that Crawl doesn't have a marketing campaign worth millions of dollars. That is really what defines a game's popularity nowadays, more than the quality of a game. If it was solely based on quality, I feel like Crawl would have the player base that Fortnite has. Like, that's how I genuinely feel about it. But of course, it's not about that. It is about many other things because I also understand that the genre Fortnite is in, for example, may be more appealing to the average player than a turn-based game. Okay, we got Poisonous Vapors. That is an amazing find this early in the game. I am very grateful for finding Poisonous Vapors. Um, So yeah, I should probably train for it because it is incredible early on. Mm, Poison Air. Yeah, I have Foxfire and Scorch castable. I can turn that off and turn this on. Um, 4. 4 magic. Would you rather go Sif, Sin, or Jiva? Can I choose Atheist? Regardless of like this is assuming that it's an average character. Like it's not like an ogre or a well, it's not a troll. Let's say a troll because an ogre does need god assistance. Um, Assuming that it is an average character, I would probably die with that character. But I would probably go Sifmuna because Sifmuna doesn't have any annoying restrictions. Sifmuna is bad, but it is not as bad as Sin and not as bad as Jiva because those actively make you worse. Not letting you use very powerful items. In the case of Sin, you don't get demon weapons, you don't get box of beasts, you don't get condenser bane. In the case of Jiva, you don't get anything. So Sifmuna is the easy answer there. I would still probably die with the character. You feel like Crow should have the popularity of D&D? They seem like they would have a similar player base. Yeah, D&D is also a very multiplayer thing. So there is I can kind of understand why people don't play a lot of scroll when they play D&D. I've even tried to introduce it to some of my friends who have played D&D in the past or currently do play D&D, and they are not very interested in it. Okay. Righty, let's go one more time. I should have probably gone for not fighting Egypt in the first place. D&D fans these days are soft and care more about storytelling. I see. I don't know. I don't know about that. But the number crunching of D&D has always been a thing that I just don't like. It also has a bit of NetHack on it. NetHack is very heavily inspired by D&D, so it's actually the other way around. Um, NetHack has a bunch of D&D. Oh, D1 Amulet of Regeneration. That's pretty sweet. DCSS is very unforgiving and has zero story. That is also something that I was thinking about. Like, I think the appeal of D&D is precisely the fact that it's like a multiplayer social experience with a bit of storytelling, and Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup is a mostly isolated single player experience with zero storytelling whatsoever. So there's no funny moments with your friends. And yeah, I know for sure that my friends have shared some funny moments in D&D, and that's like some of their most memorable experiences with the game. And they wouldn't really be able to get that in Crawl other than, oh yeah, there was this very sick situation, but I managed to outplay it with like some amazing Crawl skills, or I ended up getting destroyed by Sigmund or something like that. So a very different thing for sure. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm just gonna tab you, and if you kill me, you kill me. Mm, it is a shame that we killed that early run with poisonous vapors. That would have been so good. Um, that is a very hard carry spell, much better than anything in the Fire Elementalist book, even if I do enjoy my fair amount of Scorch and Flame Wave. When you first started playing Coral, you read all of the god descriptions and you decided Sif Muna because Sif Muna has no downsides. You should have gone for Behumet. Yeah, I think I can streak 2 human fire elementalists of Behumet way easier than I can win one with Sif Muna. Like, think about it. Streak 2 with Behumet than win one with Sif Muna. Um, yeah. Intelligence. And yeah, it's only a matter of finding the altar now, and then like it's gonna start getting pretty fun. Behemoth does provide you with such a significant power spike early in the game that you don't need to rely on absolutely everything. You can just cast spells and kill things like that. And that is what I like about Behemoth, the fact that you get to cast spells and kill things. I am not a fan of utility spells apart from Apport, I guess, and the ones that have been removed from the game, like butterflies. And I guess there's also always the very nice escape options like Blink. I'm never gonna say no to those because I think of them as pretty good. But yeah, when I'm playing a spellcaster, I wanna cast spells. I don't wanna like struggle with my inventory and like spend every fight doing this and this and this and this and this every fight. And that was the experience that I was having with the human parliamentalist that I recently killed. There was probably a way to survive with that character, but I was already so tired that I was not playing properly. That character could have muted the Demonologist. If I really cared about keeping that character alive, I could have muted the Demonologist, and that would have been a pretty good way to keep it alive. Oh, we got a row of willpower. Okay. So willpower and regen is looking much better than my previous character. My previous character only had one of those two things. You were thinking about why so many in the radical left participate in Sifmon, huh? I don't think I want to keep reading that anymore. Um, that seems like a Ben Shapiro meme, but yeah, I would rather just not do that. I think I might be dead here. Unlucky D3 priest. Yeah, it's gonna smite me and I'm gonna die. Oh, I have regen. I'm not gonna die because I have regen. Ooh, I'm back at full HP. Okay, so, oh, regen is so good. You love to see it. Oh, no mana. Okay. I used all my mana and this Orc Priest is like, oh yeah, you have a chainmail. No wonder. Well, I probably shouldn't have fought you in the first place because you have a chainmail. Then we're gonna kill that. Oh, now I have a Cure Dart. That's pretty neat. Hmm. Well, I used all my mana and this guy didn't die. Yikes, it's pretty difficult to kill things, but maybe I've been getting unlucky. I did notice the previous game I killed myself on Ejif, and Ejif happened to have heavy armor. Well, ringmail, but yeah. Okay, now I think I might be dead again. No, I can teleport again. But yeah, that was a pretty bad teleport, getting teleported into an open area in line of sight of several monsters. Blork the Orc. Okay, what else do you have? Because Trident and Polearm should be not as difficult as... Blork the Orc is kind of like an Orc warrior that knows how to cast spells, if you think about it. Maybe less dangerous than an Orc warrior. I would say that Blork the Orc is an in-between between an Orc warrior and an Orc wizard. Because it has wizard spells, right? And it also has a bit more damage than you would think. Also, he sometimes gets pretty good weapons. But anyway, you have a Rove, you have 31 HP, that's more than I do. I don't have Tele. Yeah, I felt like it was do or die, especially after he hasted. I won the coin flip, so I guess I keep playing. That was a pretty bad situation. There was not much that I could do in that situation other than try to go for the kill before it killed me. And fortunately, it did pay off, but that was pretty close. And there was nothing that I could have done to make it less close than that, I have to say. Probably I should read some of these scrolls. Okay, I wish I had a weapon because I seem to be running out of mana very often. But that is kind of the early game thing. You're gonna run out of mana a lot in the early game. Yeah, talking about running out of mana. Okay. Okay, Menkaure is easy. It's like experience. You have 3 6 streaks. I have four. I have 4 6 streaks. I thought I mentioned that earlier. Oh, that was not what I meant to type. That's what I suspected. Yeah, I know what happened. Like you pressed up and it appeared like the last time you sent in the chat and you accidentally pressed enter. I've been there before. Um, okay, I think I'm gonna go to 8 spellcasting. This time I'm going for a different skilling because I don't think Flame Wave is good enough to rush. Um, but I do want to get some form of mana, so I'm gonna go for draining spellcasting before trying to get Flame Wave and trying to get Inner Flame as well. You know you're having you know I'm having a rough day now, so you edited a recent copy past me. Probably should have chosen a better one. It's okay. You just keep in mind that I just don't like discussing anything politics related on stream because I feel like it's nearly impossible to have a reasonable discussion when it comes to that kind of thing online, like online altogether. Um, Much less so in Twitch. So I try to avoid any single spark that could result into a political discussion meltdown in my chat. So like no politic jokes or no politics, no nothing like that. I um I just prefer it to run it like that. Um, there's some political dungeon crawl streams. There's some political crawl streams on Twitch, but yeah, that's not my thing. I would rather just like stay as far away from that as I can. Um, and yeah, I feel like that has been going well for me. I very often just talk about crawl. Actually, I don't go out of my way to talk about other things. Maybe if I did, I would have a more successful stream. But yeah, it feels pretty rough to lose a character that you spent 6 hours on, and that was nowhere near winning the game as well. Maybe that human that I killed recently, that was on the same level as the cats that I played before. But keep in mind that the cat was playing Dredrenul, so that was a pretty good goth. If I was a human with Dread, I would have a much better time than a human with Sif. Now, I cannot even imagine a cat with Sif. And yeah, take a look at this book, Early Starburst, as a... Oh, I probably shouldn't have learned it because of the spell levels. Well, let's learn... I have Static Discharge as well. That is pretty good for hybridizing, I think. Or for like things that are immune to fire but not immune to electricity, like imps. I don't think imps spawn that often early in the game, fortunately. Oh, I also have Sticky Flame. Well, I'm not gonna say no to that. And Flame Wave. And when I get a Scroll of Amnesia, which I will probably re-identify, I will probably forget about Starburst, but I will learn it much later in the game when I can actually cast it. Ring of Evasion. Amulet of Acrobat, we're gonna drop it because we got regen. And I think regen has already saved me a fair amount of times in this playthrough. Like, it's only D5, and I think it already saved me more than Sif Muna ever did with my previous character. If I could have traded Sif Muna for an Amulet of Regen, I would have done that. Even though Sif Muna kind of function as an Amulet of Regen with Guardian Spirits. Mm, the Lemurs followed me. Okay. I guess I can kill them easily. I just need to have like an open space and go hard on the Foxfire. Okay. Let's go upstairs. Normally you're supposed to kill Pikel and the lemurs disappear, but in this situation it was much easier for me to just go for the kill on the lemurs. You can empathize with your last loss of human fire elementals of Sif. Imagine spending days on a character and then splatting to a chain of unlikely events. Yeah, like double banishment into finding a Reaper in the Abyss. But the Reaper was not even that unlikely. In fact, I would even go as far as to say that it was the opposite the first time I got banished with that character, and it was very lucky that I didn't encounter any demons. Because it could have been easily that the first thing that I saw in the Abyss was a Hell Sentinel, and then how do I kill a Hell Sentinel with that trash character? I really would have been unable to do so. Um, so yeah, that character was on life support. It needed drastic luck, or it needed to be going for longer than I could like pilot it to like turn its luck around. But yeah, it was so rough. This character will be way better. I will get early game powerful spells, and then mid game powerful spells, and then late game powerful spells guaranteed from Behumet, and that will be more impactful than anything Sif Muna can give me. Now, I was waiting for Pikel to lose a turn so I could go upstairs and try to go downstairs and fight in a more controlled environment, but he never lost a turn, so I was at full HP. I decided to go for it, and we ended up winning the fight, which is pretty good. Um, let's get four of these as well, so I can go for static discharge intelligence. This is better than what I have, not by a lot, but it is better. Not like I'm gonna train any of these weapons or anything. Okay, D6 Centaur is not as early as you would think it would be. They can spawn as early as D2. Okay, I'm gonna use the bow. Probably not, but I would like to have it as an option. Okay, Behumet. No Behumet in temple. Yes, if in temple, but we're not doing that. Nope, no, we're not doing that. You should finish or splat that that foca you started last week, but instead you're drawing an anime girl and then Frederick. Are you going to draw Rupert doing the Ovni Man pose? I'm kind of excited for that. I mean, you said Sigmund first, but I really think it should be Rupert instead of Sigmund. Um, Rupert seems more fitting for that. Definitely not. Oh, come on, imagine how many clicks that would get you on Twitter. Okay, let's drink curing. Oh, that was not curing. Let's drink curing. Okay, that's heal wounds, so not curing, but it was okay. Alrighty. Okay, you know what I haven't played in a couple of days? Guilty Gear Strife. But the other day I played at like 3 a.m. because I foolishly drank some coffee. Um, and I was unable to sleep. Like, well, I drank some coffee, but I drank it at like 7 p.m. and it was like real coffee, not like decaf. So I wasn't able to sleep at like 3 a.m. and I decided, hey, let's play some Guilty Gear. And the people who play Guilty Gear at 3 a.m. in my region are pretty insane. Like, that's the most one-sided matches that I've ever had on Guilty Gear. Um, I was actually unable to like even hit them. I think one of those guys went for a double perfect, and they were like my same rank. So yeah, and we didn't even have a lot of ping, so it leads me to believe that it's people who were like actually like in NA, because I play in one of the NA servers that were just like playing at 3 a.m. So not like some Korean or Japanese person. Um, Trog has got to be real happy with you. He just gave you Frostbite. It's such a shame that Frostbite is a two-handed weapon. There are some people that really would go for Frostbite. I don't think I would. Even with the buffs nowadays, I don't think I would. In order for me to want to go for a two-handed weapon, it needs to be like a crazy vampiric weapon, like the one that I found on my previous character. I probably shouldn't be fighting Marjorie or Maggie. Um, but I guess we're already kind of committed. I already extremely poisoned her. Okay, there we go. So that could have gone bad if she had decided to start sapping me with fire magic, but she didn't, so I won. You still don't have a shield, so not reason not to. Well, good luck with that. Um, you were very close to streaking with Sif earlier this year in March. You had won 15 runes, and then you lost a 9 rune game when you got a Panlord with Silence and Glaciate. Why, if your objective is to streak, why are you going for 15 runes? Do you want to streak 15 rune games like the Korean players do? Otherwise, like I just generally go for 3 runers because 3 runers are the thing that I like. I feel like after that, it's like Noita. So Noita has a very linear game in a sense. Like you start and in the entrance of the mines, and then you keep going down, and then you find the boss, and then you win the game, right? But there's so much more than you can do, and it feels like if I try to go for the so much more, Noita gets less exciting for me. And I know that because I still haven't done everything that you can do in Noita. I want to do everything at least once. And there is a fair amount of things that I have yet to do in Noita. And so every run I try to go for a long run in Noita, like a run that goes beyond the normal part of the game, and it gets super tedious and boring. And I see, like I have noticed a trend of characters in Noita that go really long and end up dying to something stupid that I wouldn't have died to if I was more interested. It's funny, but the success of those characters makes me less interested, and I feel pretty much the same way in Crawl. Like Crawl does have the extended end game, but the extended end game is like not as exciting to me as just like starting a new character and getting powerful with a new character, and then once it actually becomes powerful, just winning the game and starting all over again. But that may be just me, as I mentioned before. We're still looking forward to finding good old Behumet. I could have gone Sif Muna, but no. No, we're not doing that today. Or we're not doing that for the rest of today. And not for a couple of months either way. Um, Maybe one of these days I'll return to the true Railbird run. But for now, I think I'm gonna streak 2 Behumet humans just to make a point, I guess. Um, Okay, we got Maggie's acid skills. We also got a robe of Archmagi, but I think my current robe is willpower. Yeah, willpower is necessary, essential, I would even go as far as to say. So I'm not gonna take off my current body armor to replace it with Archmagi or with the more advanced armor class of the acid scales. I also think that I wouldn't be able to like really cast things well with acid scales. I have pretty good success rates for the conjurations, considering how I have only 4 conjurations. So they're kind of an option, but they're not a reliable one. Okay, you know how it is in the early game. Foxfire is incredibly powerful until you are in a corridor. So as long as there is no corridor, I will Foxfire. Hmm. No? Oh, that's a starburst. That's a starburst button. Oh, wait a second. Mm, okay, I think there's like a well, there was an invisible wizard, but I'm pretty much immune to confuse because I have willpower, so it was not really that much of a threat. I feel like this ogre is more dangerous. And by the way, I have to say that this character had a significantly better early game so far. I remember that my previous attempts at Human Fire Elementalist had like experience level 6 going into D6, and this guy has experience level 10. So I got a pretty generous level generation with a lot of easily acquirable experience early in the game. And I am very grateful for that because the last thing I need is one of those ridiculous early game characters, mm, only to end up killing it later in the game regardless. Okay, I saw the Pyromancer and I was like, okay, I can kill it. It's all the way over there. I can kill it. And then I saw the Kobold and I was like, okay, I can kill them both. And then the Kobold shot me with Curer and I was like, you know what? I actually can't kill these guys. But that was okay. Fortunately, I had the stairs right next to me and I was able to just take advantage of them. Okay. Foxfire is murdering everything here. Well, kind of. Okay, yeah, it's murdering everything. Yeah, also having a bunch of mana early on is so good. 22 mana experience level 10. Very good reason to go for training of fighting early on. We still haven't found Behemoth, but I'm gonna hold on to it. You will see how impactful Behemoth is compared to Sif Muna. Um, Yeah, like I mean, I just killed a Death's Door character. Well, I guess Divine Exogenesis Death's Door character. I guess I could have prevented that by training more invocations, but then um, the same thing that I mentioned when I was actually playing the character. If I had not been worshipping Sif Moon, I wouldn't have had to train invocations, and I wouldn't have needed Death's Door in the first place because the god would have provided me with tools to not get into that kind of situation in the first place. Like, I was an experienced level 20 character casting level 3 spells and level 4 spells. This character will not be like that when I get to experience level 20. Like, I can't guarantee it. Where's the altar? Yeah, I need a potion of flying now. Okay, there we go. Behemoth. A good old Behemoth character. I haven't had one in a while because I always want to go Behemoth because Behemoth is so good and so powerful. But then I stopped myself because I feel like I've been playing Behemoth too often. But no, this time we're going for a Behemoth character. By the way, I've noticed that it's kind of late, but I feel like I am gonna go for a bit longer than usual. Yeah, I at least want to get this character to Layer 6. I don't think it will take me a long time. Okay. Two-headed ogre, D8, corridor. Corridor is the defining factor here, like the reason why I wouldn't want to fight that thing. If it was not for the corridor, I would have tried to kill that two-headed giant. Alrighty, pretty good. Is that the same to? It is not the same. It's a different two-headed ogre and corridor, and it is closer to me. So, yikes! I am going to go upstairs because I can. I'm gonna exclude that. Go downstairs. And now I know this level has two two-headed ogres, so it would be a pretty good idea to skip it altogether. Uh, Alternatively, I could also try to kill them all carefully. I see that white has willpower. It is +0 as well, just like mine, so I'm gonna leave it on the floor. Okay. You know, sometimes I have characters that struggle very hard with white bands. This character is just like steamrolling them. Okay, two-headed ogre out of nowhere. Let's go upstairs. Let's go downstairs. Okay. I feel like I really need to kill that two-headed ogre. Okay, so let's just stand here and shout. Better not to waste so much mana. I think I woke it up and then it started moving in like the opposite direction. Come on, get over here. I'm not gonna go over there. There's a corridor. Yeah, there's like a huge corridor. So, well, okay, I'm gonna have to wander around the level, being very careful of the two-headed ogres that I know are awake. It's such a shame. I really wanted to kill them, but okay, there we go. This is reasonable. I still don't know if I'm gonna win against this two-headed ogre. If he gets too close to me, I guess I can run for the stairs. Yeah, if I had Curer, this would be the perfect time to Curer, but I do not possess it. Okay, there we go. Severely wounded, but I was at full HP, or rather, it was severely wounded only, but I was at full HP. I thought that I would be able to tank a single attack. Unfortunately, it didn't even do that, and I was able to get the kill there. Okay, with this two-headed ogre, yeah, it might be a different deal. It hit me for pretty much half of my maximum HP. I have regen, so I can just like regen to full by pillar dancing real quick. Ah, man, regen is the greatest thing in this game. Characters without regen are so sad. Okay, back to full HP real quick. Okay, one more. No, okay, I'm not gonna continue gambling. There we go. Alrighty. I think that is it when it comes to two-headed ogres. Like, I don't think there's gonna be more in this level. By the way, do you guys have any interesting plans for the weekend? I personally don't have much to do. Um, yeah, I would like to flame wave here, but I can't. Well, I guess I can, 12%. What is the flame wave button? Perfect. Beautiful. You're watching horror movies all weekend. Yeah. Sorry that I can't deliver on the horror aspect of Twitch, but it's really not my thing. Like, it's not that I get scared, it's just that I don't find it appealing at all. Like, it just doesn't do anything for me. Um, so yeah, I personally have struggled in Twitch before when it comes to this season of the year because everyone is playing like that kind of game that like I am allergic to that kind of game. Like I cannot stomach it. I cannot stomach it. Like Friday 13 and Resident Evil and Silent Hill and those kinds of games. Like nah, it's I can't. But this year I didn't really run into that issue, fortunately. This year it was so much better for me on Twitch during October. Both on stream, I have to say, on like the thing that I actually do to like not starve and that kind of stuff, and and when it comes to viewing people, no plans except to watch Torinsky. Oh yeah, Torinsky does play Crawl on. I think he plays only on Sunday. But yeah, you should watching on Sunday. I used to stream on Sundays, but then like why overlap with one of the very few people who stream this game on Twitch, right? Like better just not stream that day. And yeah, maybe I could play something on Sundays, but then again I would still be overlapping with someone that is streaming crawls, and I that's definitely something that I don't want to do. Now I think there was a level in the early dungeon that I skipped, like D4 or something. Should probably go back and do it. Okay, you can now gain magical power from killing. So if you kill things, you gain mana back. If you kill a lot of things, you gain a lot of mana back. If you do Immolation Tin of Tremor Stones, you get pretty much all your mana back. That's what Behemoth does. Behemoth offers you knowledge of Sandblast. So obviously Sandblast is a bit obsolete at this point in the game. You're normally supposed to go Behemoth slightly earlier in the game. D6 Cyclops? What? Oh, that is the level that I skipped. And the Cyclops is still extremely dangerous, funny thing. I can survive a hit from the Cyclops, so I'm gonna stand on the stairs, and if things get too hairy, I can go upstairs. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go upstairs. Better not gamble with that. Okay, give me your Curer. I'm gonna use it on the Cyclops. Is your Taos run this coming Sunday? It is next week. It is on Monday next week. It's not on Sunday. So yeah, it will be on November 8th, Monday, November 8th. Only tiles, and I will be starting earlier, probably like 1 or 2 hours earlier, and I will be going on till I win. I will probably be playing a spellcaster. Okay, so that is done. And now, what should I train? Maybe a bit of hexes, a sprinkle of hexes, 4 hexes. Yeah, just to be able to cast Inner Flame. You like tiles because you can instantly see what kind of weapon the monsters are wielding. Yeah, I don't like tiles because it's too small and too opaque to me. I like console because, like, oh, this is an ogre, oh, this is an orc, and I'm pretty sure if I went to tiles and I looked at a million orcs, I wouldn't be able to discern like the spellcasters from the melee characters and or from the melee orcs and that kind of stuff. That's why I don't play tiles, and I don't think that will change after I win my tiles run. But I guess you will be welcome to be along for the ride of that one and only tiles run. Um, Okie that is it for identify. We ended up finding a potion of 3. Fortunately, I don't think I will have to use it that much with this character. This character being a worshipper of Behemoth, I'm pretty sure by the time I'm experience level 20, I won't need to use a potion of 3 to not die. Yeah, Behemoth also enhances your magic. Like it's cheaper to cast spells with Behemoth, and Sifmuna doesn't do that. So that is also another thing why I think Behemoth is so much better than Sif. You seem confident about that for someone who hasn't completed a game in tiles yet. Is it possible you're simply not used to tiles? I'm not gonna switch. I know that you want me to switch. I'm not gonna switch. I'm gonna do the one game, but I don't think I will be coming back. And I am pretty skeptical of that opinion altogether changing after I complete that game. That's how I feel about that. Man, you haven't done a crawl run since 0.14? Hey, Twitch streamer man, thank you for your first time chat. I appreciate that. I like the interaction. You should go back. Crawl has changed a lot since 0.14. A lot of the things that used to exist in the game are not in the game anymore, like altogether, and also a fair amount of the things that are still in the game have been heavily reworked. Some things are still the same or slightly different, but the game, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, as someone with like 3,000 hours in Crawl, well, I guess it's more like 2,600 hours. I think the game has only improved since the 0.14 days. I have been playing for almost 11 years now. Almost 11 years. I started playing in January 2011. On and off, it's been 11 years. And I've seen a fair amount of iterations of Crawl. I like the way it is today, and I like the current design philosophy. So yeah, I really recommend anyone to, or everyone to go and try a run if you haven't done it in a while. You played between 0.6 and 0.14. You've only done one 15 rune run. I haven't done a 15. Oh, no, no. I was about to say that I hadn't done one since the tournament, but no. I recently did two 14 rune runs. I didn't do Tomb on those two because I had a pretty bad experience in Tomb in the tournament. Um, so yeah, health changed in the current development version and 0.28. So if you have an account online, I guess you can go ahead and play online. And if you get to the extended part of the game, you will see how different it is from the previous version. Like the levels are much shorter, much smaller. There's only one set of downstairs, and it is so dangerous and so difficult extended. Do you remember the Mountain Dwarf drama? Yeah, like the drama still lives on in the community. Like people point at the mountain dwarf removal, and they were like, this is the point where Kroll died. And like that is just not true. There's been a fair amount of polemic changes ever seen, like way before the dungeon, the mountain dwarf removal. Yeah, someone made a list. One of the developers that was like just tired about hearing from that, or hearing from the community about that. I think it is on Reddit, and I think it was by Evering. So if you message Evering asking for like that list, you can probably get it very easily. You feel like you don't Sif, you feel like I didn't give Sif Moon a fair chance, to be honest, because in the first attempt you didn't skill invocations at all, and the second attempt not enough. Yeah, but this god doesn't have invocations. My favorite gods don't have invocations or have very little invocations, apart from Nemelex. But Nemelex literally wins you the game if you train invocations, because Nemelex's very powerful abilities, like the cards, don't cost any piety. So you can kinda spam them because you will not run out of piety. Like you can actually use cards every fight with Nemelex, and I don't think with Sif Muna you can use Divine Exegesis every fight. That is why I didn't go so hard on Sif Muna invocations. I do think that if I had gone higher with invocations, I wouldn't have failed to Death Store like 3 times in a row against that Reaper. And I wouldn't have survived, but it would have been only prolonging the misery. What I'm trying to say is that invocations wouldn't have directly made my character stronger. It would have only made it less better at dying. I would have been more survivable, but I would still get into the kind of awful situation that would force me to use Death Store at a point in the game where no character would legitimately have Death Store. Um, the problem is that just remove stuff doesn't really need the depths. Just remove stuff that doesn't really need to be removed. I disagree with that. I feel like most of the shavings of the game were done precisely to avoid like hypothetical optimal gameplay. Like very recently, a very large removal that I was very like saddened by, Charms removal. It was made entirely to prevent like hypothetical optimal player, like taking off or making a macro to take off all your armor, cast deflect missiles, and then put it back on again. Like that was whack. I never did it, but if that is hypothetical optimal gameplay, and Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup and its development philosophy actively tries to attack hypothetical optimal gameplay that is like super boring and super whack, like literally taking off all your armor, putting on wizardry and brilliance and stuff like that, and casting a level 6 spell that you barely have any skill to cast, and doing that every time it wears off. Like that is not okay. I do think that maybe it would be cool if it was reworked into, or if it had been reworked, but I feel like that is too much work. We have to keep in mind that at the end of the day, Crawl is free, and we get to play updates and upon updates of Crawl for free, and the development team is literally volunteers that want to do that. So it is very different to ask from a development team that you're literally paying, and to ask from a development team that is doing it for free. And we don't know how hard it would be to rework some things. So it's just easier to remove them. In that sense, I am completely okay with removals, because I would prefer having removals and having new interesting stuff be added to the game than not having any development of Crawl whatsoever. That's what I think about it. Then why remove halflings? Halflings were pretty boring. they were replaced with Jin. Jin are pretty hype. I am okay with the removal of halflings. They were super generic. Like it's not like, oh, but they did these unique things that no one else did, and I'm gonna miss them. No, it was not like that. They were just like average aptitudes plus force links. But aptitudes is like the most boring way to make a species unique. Like compare halfling with what they got replaced by. Gene. It's kind of like replaced because genes are in no way like reminiscent of halfling. They're drastically different, and in that sense, Gene is also drastically different from anything else in the game. Like they're so unique. Cats though, cats have the misery aspect. Like some people actually enjoy suffering when they play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, and that's why they go for playing cats. Um, but why replace? To avoid bloating, because if you don't replace, then you have like even more species in the character select screen. Like people already say that the character select screen seems intimidating because they have too many options when firing up the game. You don't want to keep adding to that. Ideally, you would shave from that. But then, like the backlash from the community, it's like a lose-lose situation. No matter what changes, people are gonna complain for different reasons. It may even be the same people who complain, but for different reasons. And I don't know. I don't envy developing for this game or like being in charge of making that kind of decisions. It does make me understand why people get so, or like why some developers are so. I would even go as far as to say toxic towards the more detached players of the community who like don't interact with the development team that much and don't know about the design philosophy. But yeah, you have a pretty damn good run with a cat monk of Jiva once. Oh, Jiva comes back into discussion again. Jiva is miserable. Yeah, getting the Altar Priest Lime is not very likely, or did that change? It is still extremely unlikely, and if you have any love for Jiva, you should go in and get a game in, because chances are good that Jiva doesn't make it to 0.28 stable. I have been hating on Jiva so hard for like the last week on stream. Like, yeah, it's funny that you mentioned Jiva today because today I didn't say anything about Jiva, but Jiva is just not okay. It is so bad. Um, I think Jiva. The thing about Jiva is that it's that kind of thing that needs a drastic rework, but it's very unlikely for it to happen. I think it's just gonna get removed altogether. In fact, I have heard from one of the developers that they're like one third of the way on writing a patch that removes Jiva because I assume that removing a god is very complicated. So yeah, I think it's gonna get axed, and I don't have any tears to shed for it. That's what I have to say about that. Let's get some dodging here. Okay. Oh, there is an invisible monster. There used to be an invisible monster. Okay, no Sergeant with a ringmail. Unfortunately, it is sponging the Foxfire for me. Dissolution? Yeah, Dissolution. I don't know what is going to happen with Dissolution. But Dissolution, the thing about Dissolution is that it was a trap. Because Dissolution wasn't really a worshipper of Jiva. Otherwise, Jiva wouldn't disappear. Like, why does Jiva disappear when you kill the Royal Jelly if Dissolution exists? Um, so yeah, I didn't. The solution can very easily be reworked into like having different flavors. It's just like changing the flavor of the solution. Surprise Pikachu face like this, um, like this. Is that what you mean? I can't believe it, but yeah, finally I had a use for that emote. That was one of my first emotes. I have friends who don't watch my stream. Um, And when I got to affiliate, I was like, oh, I got to affiliate. What should I have as an emote? And one of my friends was like, sent me a WhatsApp sticker of that. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But you better subscribe, and I don't think that friend has ever subscribed. But I still appreciate that friend regardless. Mm, so now I would like to kill that null sergeant to make it explode. I think I'm gonna go for the boomerang. It missed. Okay, it exploded regardless. That's pretty good. Okay. I am very glad that I skipped this castle thing, because it would have been very complicated. Hey, Twitch streamer man, thank you for following. I appreciate it. If you want that emote, I guess you can redeem it for a day using channel points, or you can subscribe. I would appreciate it if you did. Of course, you don't have to, but I definitely would appreciate it if you all subscribe. It would be very helpful indeed. Let's see. I have a message in Taos. I hadn't seen it, but let's see what we have here. Oh, it's yet again a bot. That seems to happen very often. Do you play any other roguelikes? I have only played Crawl on stream because I think that the best content that I can make is the content that comes from me playing Crawl. Since I have so much experience in the game and the game is so replayable, I genuinely think it is infinitely replayable. So it is just a lot of content. It doesn't get stale for me, and I like it a lot. So even if I have a bad run, like I can still make good content out of it. When it comes to Tome, I played Tome one time, almost 4 years ago, and I absolutely despise Tome. Like I can't stomach Tome. Games of COD I've never played, but I've heard like some not so very good things. I think I'm just too spoiled by the design philosophy of Crawl. So when it comes to roguelikes like this, like actual roguelikes, I think Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup satisfies almost all of my needs. I do have Jupiter Hell, and I have won a fair amount of roguelikes at least once in the 11 to almost 12 years that I've been playing roguelikes. But yeah, Crawl is the only one that I really play consistently nowadays. Um, yeah, I've won NetHack a fair amount of times, a lot of times, much more times that I would recommend you to ever win NetHack. I've won Slash M twice, or no, once. I didn't complete the second round because I got too bored. I've won Dumarel. I've won Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, obviously. And I think that's it for the ones that I have won. I have also played Seal Q. I have played Jupiter Hell. I have played Brogue, and I played the one game of Tome, and that's it. I've never played like Adom or Angband. Yeah, I just didn't get to try them when I was still like exploring for roguelikes. It's just that I found Crawl very early and it just caught me. So yeah. But I still have played a fair amount of roguelikes. Yeah, it is also like a bit cumbersome to learn controls on a roguelike. I remember that like a year ago when Dawn of the Mexica released, I was kind of excited for it because it's from a Mexican developer and it's like a roguelike from a Mexican developer. I was amazed at the thought of that. Like why why is this a thing and why am I not pushing it? So I tried to play it on stream, but I was like a bit. I felt like I was playing Crawl, but like with my hands behind my back, and I was like mashing on the keyboard with my nose. That's what it felt to try to learn controls on another roguelike. So I haven't really played it since, but I did buy it, and that supports the developer, so I feel pretty good about it. We definitely do need some roguelike scene in Mexico or in Spanish at all. I don't think I've ever seen anyone discussing roguelikes in Spanish. I don't think I've ever seen it in my life. You get that. You went through a phase where you tried pretty much all classic roguelikes you could find from Rogue Basin around 2010. You don't think you beat any game other than Crawl. Yeah, I played my fair amount of NetHack, and NetHack is a very old school roguelike. Um, so what that means is that it has a bunch of very unfair, haha funny things. It has a bunch of instant deaths. It has a bunch of grinding. It is like a relic of a different time. Oh, I got hooked by Harold. It's not good. Flame wave. Do I have poison resistance? I don't think I do. Okay, that was a bit tricky, but I was channeling Flame Wave, so it was a very easy kill for me. Those bees, I just continued channeling and then went upstairs. NetHack is too spoiler dependent for your taste. Yeah, NetHack is unwinnable without spoilers. And something that is pretty good about Crawl for new players, I don't particularly care too much because I have literally a decade of experience with Crawl, but a new player will have access to this menu. So the game literally has descriptions for everything. It doesn't have hard numbers because the game is also, or like the design philosophy of Crawl is allergic to hard numbers. But you can ask for, I don't know, Harold, let's say, the unique that I just killed, and the game tells you about Harold, tells you the amount of HP, the armor class, the evasion, the shield. Well, it doesn't tell you about the shield, but it tells you how much willpower, more or less, it has, tells you the damage, tells you all that you need to know so that you don't have to go and look at a wiki to play the game. And that is amazing, in my opinion. I feel like that is a home run when it comes to crawl design philosophy, that all the things that you really need in order to be able to win the game are in the game. Like all the information, all that is left for you to be able to win is actually learning how to win the game, which sounds easy, but it is more complex than you would think. You don't remember that being in the game. It was in the game, but it was not nearly as good as this. Like it showed you like the first part of this like the flavor text and the name, and it showed you this, I think, the HP. I don't think it showed you the defenses. I don't think it showed you. Well, maybe it showed the damage, but I'm not sure. It definitely didn't show the hit chance because this is new, and it didn't show the spells. Well, the spells, I think maybe it did show the spells. Um, I'm pretty sure it did show the spells. But yeah, like this was not nearly as detailed as it is nowadays. And you can do that for almost every monster in the game. There's some that doesn't work for them for some reason. You can do it for spells, you can do it for skills, you can do it for all of those things. You can even do it for NMLX cards, which is pretty funny. But yeah, you can do it for everything, pretty much. That menu is fantastic. That menu is the new player experience. It is not easily condensed, but it's also not meant for you to just binge it and like read it for a couple of hours like you would probably do on a wiki. It's meant for you to like see a monster. Let's say, oh yeah, I remember that the other run something killed me. I think it was called something sorcerer. And then you look for a sorcerer, and then you're like, oh yeah, it was that deep elf sorcerer, and you inspect it, and you find out that it can banish you with 9% chance to banish you, and you can die from that. And that's probably what happened to your character last time you found one of those guys. That kind of thing is amazing. It is incredible. I love it so much. I wish all games had that, but instead of that, we have wikis. Um, yeah, I think designing around obscurity as a feature is like super bad, and a lot of old time roguelikes were exactly like that. Um, yeah, the crawl is a game where like the only limiting factor is you and the decisions that you make. Um, I feel like almost all runs are winnable. Sometimes there's runs that are not winnable, but that pretty much only happens early in the game. Once you get past a certain point with your character, you're almost guaranteed to win. Um, Let me drop a couple of these things that I'm not gonna use. That's really good. You may get back to the game again, at least for a win. You're sure a lot has changed and you will have plenty of Yet another stupid death. I don't know. As long as you play carefully, you should be okay. Um, it's all about threat assessment and like identifying dangerous situations and that kind of stuff. I'm gonna buy that scroll of tele. Gonna buy these three unidentified scrolls. They could be acquirement or something ridiculous like that. Gonna buy the potion. Yeah, buying unidentified items is always a treat. So what was the scrolls that we just bought? Okay. They were scrolls of summoning, but I didn't want to read identify. Still pretty good to get to... Oh, did I buy those as well? I did not. So I was carrying two scrolls of acquirement. Pretty good. Okay, Boots of Flying look pretty interesting. I guess I could also get the money. The money is very alluring. I'm gonna get the money because these items are not as impactful. Like they're not like, oh, I need that, right? Like there's nothing like that here. And the money might be impactful. Normally I would wait, but I have two scrolls of acquirement, so I want to see what the other one has. This is also a change. Yeah, you will have that moment that you're having right now, like 20 times per run if you fire up your new dungeon crawlstone soup. Yeah, acquirement is way more fair now. You remember how it was before? Now it gives you four items that you see that you can inspect, as you can see with this book. So you know exactly what you're getting, and the scroll is not consumed. So you, like, for example, I'm gonna exit out of here, right? Like normally the scroll would be gone forever, like way back in the day. Now I can read it again at a later time, and it will always offer me the same options until I grab one of these. Even if I find like 20 different scrolls of acquirement, all that will be offered from acquirement will be these until I get one of these items. And that's amazing. Yeah, it is a very nice quality of life thing that was introduced in like 0.26 or something. It was rather recent. Let's get these two items. Hey, Scarf of Resistance. Okay, I was expecting better gloves, but um, Scarf of Resistance is pretty sweet. And we did get a fair amount of money, and I'm probably going to get the money again. I don't care about... Well, the buckler might be good. It's 3 armor class. I wonder if I should get the buckler. I think I'm gonna get the buckler. But I'm gonna hold on to it because I don't need anything immediately. What do you need? What do you think of the changes to monster spellbooks? The fact they are all the same now instead of having multiple different versions of the same monster? Well, it was kind of annoying because here's the thing. If there's 3 different Deep Elf mages, you have to inspect a Deep Elf mage every time that you see it, or be very powerful enough to survive to anything that they could do. Um, when monsters have multiple different spellbooks, you have to inspect them to find out what spellbooks they had. Now, if you know what the monster does already, you don't have to inspect them to figure out what they had. And the spirit of monsters having different spellbooks is still in the game. Like for example, with Deep Elf mages, they were split into pyromancers and zephyrmancers. So now when you see a Deep Elf pyromancer, you know, oh, that guy has fire spells. Better put on the fire resistance or something. And when you see the pyromancer, the same but for electricity, instead of having to inspect and find out what it has. So in my opinion, it's a pretty good change. It's a quality of life change more than a balance change. I think it's even harder now than it was before because Deep Elf mages didn't go crazy with the lightning bolts like Zephyrmancers do, and Zephyrmancers are common enemies in Elf, so you're gonna see a lot of them. If you don't have resistance to electricity, you kinda can't do Elf now, and it used to be doable before without resistance to electricity. So yeah, that's what I think about that. Gonna buy the cancellation to identify it. Do I have heal wounds? I have one. Okay, I guess I can buy more. These two. I guess I also want to identify Ambrosia. I'm not interested in invisibility. Since I don't get stealth, I don't think of it as very useful. There is a manual of shields here. And Book of Geomancy and Book of Iron. Book of Iron has Iron Shot, right? Yeah, I would be very surprised if it didn't. Also, Kubu's autobiography. Okay, that's a hard carry spell, or that's a hard carry book. I am going to get it right now. Also Kubus Armor and also Kubus Refrigeration. So now I could get the Manual of Shields, but then I lose the reason to get shields in the first place because the acquirement is offering me the Buckler of Protection, which I kinda want. But then again, the Buckler of Protection is kinda not that good. So I'm gonna get the gold, and I'm gonna buy this Manual of Shields. Um, yeah, the book says Sif Muna, so I was very like I didn't think that it would have anything good for me, but Fireball and Orb of Destruction would be interesting. The thing is that I think Behumet will give me those. Um, so now we're gonna identify this and this. We're gonna drop everything. Well, drop everything useless. It doesn't seem that I'm carrying anything useless. And I'm carrying the manual, so it is automatically active. No longer takes up any inventory slots. That's a pretty nice thing. Same goes for books. Books no longer take any inventory slots. And if you have ever seen a book, you have the spell available at your disposal. That is like a very quality of life thing because books took up inventory space and you have to like drop them and then come back and learn the spell if you really wanted to learn a spell. So this is just better and like not a balanced thing. Um, no shields yet so far, but I will see a shield. So I definitely do not regret buying that. Oh, this guy is crazy powerful. Okay, we're gonna leave it alone. There's also nothing in there that I would like be interested in fighting to the death for. Bunch of centaurs and a Minotaur Berserker Ghost. Yeah, ghosts no longer spawn walking around. Now it's more of a choice for you to like fight a ghost. If you see a ghost, you can just leave it alone, or you can open the vault. And sometimes there's loot, but more often than not, you're gonna be doing that for the experience if you're doing that at all. Okay, and you may see that I'm casting a lot of new spells if you have not played the game for a while. Um, yeah, the spells that I'm casting, Flame Wave and Scorch, are brand new for 0.28. So they're not in the stable version. They're in the development version that you can play online. I greatly recommend you to play 0.28. I like that, like the constant change of trunk. Um, you also get to try some crazy powerful things that are not in the stable version of the game that may or may not make it to the stable version of the game. Like, for example, this character with Scorch and Flame Wave. I'm pretty sure those will make it to stable. It's just that I'm getting to try them earlier than everyone. That's a pretty good thing to have. Let me also drop these and the arrows. And the boomerangs. Oh, wait. Let me disable pickup for boomerangs. This character doesn't really care about throwing things. Okay, not the bees. Fortunately, being a fire elementalist, I don't have that many issues with the bees. Oh, by the way, I think Behumet is already enhancing my spells. No, not yet. A funny thing, I have a very good success rate, but it may be related to my 25 intelligence. Flame Wave. Yeah, there we go. Having spells that do not check evasion is pretty good against bees. Okie dokie. That went well. That went pretty well. Not gonna complain about that. By the way, if you are going to fire up a game after seeing what we have been playing today, and you haven't played in a while, you should consider going Ashensari because Ashensari is really, really powerful. Like it's crazy powerful right now. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets nerfed. It already got nerfed because when it first released, it was way too strong. But it is still way too strong. So yeah. This vampire is kinda destroying me. Yeah, we're not winning against this vampire. It is not hasted, so that's good. I typoed, but it's fine. I have fire resistance from the Scarf of Resistance that I bought. This game has been getting all the loot. I am very glad for that. No. Okay, we killed the vampire, and now the acid dragon may be trouble. Are you resistant to poison? I think you are. Yeah. Resistant to poison and acid. I am at 50% HP, so I kinda don't want to fight it. Yeah, it's a shame because I had clouds that I would have loved to use to kill that acid dragon, but it was not really possible. White ugly thing, why? It's the well, I guess it's the 11. It's fair. The 11 lair? That's a deep lair. I have cold resistance, so you're not nearly as dangerous as you could be. I should learn refrigeration and poisonous vapors. I just got that um, from Behumet. That's pretty good. Pretty nice thing to have. Ouch. 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 Okay, now I am mildly nervous. Okay, there we go. We got the kill regardless. And let me learn this. This is a pretty great spell. Let me put it on the quiver. Yeah, now you can quiver spells as well. That's also something new. And it hits it hits full screen. It doesn't miss, and it just poison monsters. So it's like a poison dart that doesn't miss. So I think of it as crazy powerful. Let me turn this off and let's train poison magic to 4. There we go. I just killed that orc warrior with poisonous vapors. Okay. There we go. Oh, Cobalt Demonologist. If it had not been for the fact that I just got Poisonous Vapors, I would be very afraid of that guy. But Poisonous Vapors will make it so that I can kill it rather easily. Ooh, never mind. Well, that's 2 Cobalt Demonologists and a Sun Demon. Things are not going well right now. I think I am going to re-teleport before I explode. While I wait for the teleport, I'm gonna try to poison the Demonologist. Okay, didn't get any kills. Oh wait, 1 kill. 2 kills, alright. Pretty good, good stuff, good stuff. Behemoth is now aiding your destructive spells. So yeah, that's pretty good. If I pushed a bit, I could get Starburst. Oh man, that's so nice. It feels good to play a Behemoth character. Like, Behemoth becomes so impactful so early in the game. It's so pleasant. Especially compared to playing a Sif Muna character. Okay, we found Immolation. Let me grab that. Very important thing to be carrying around. Very strong. The troll didn't drop skills, or letter, I guess. That's kind of sad. Unseen Horror? I think it is an Unseen Horror. Yeah, it is definitely an Unseen Horror. Flame Wave. There we go, we get the kill. So yeah, at this point in the game, very early on, there's not much to say about this character. It's just powerful. We found Sticky Flame, we found Behemoth. It did take forever for me to find Behemoth, but we ended up finding Behemoth. So yeah, I feel way better than with Sif Muna, but that is also probably related to the fact that I got good loot. Like I have found some crazy things. Double acquirement early on, um, Amulet of Regen, Scarf of Resistance, Robe of Willpower, Globes of Dexterity. Like the loot that this character has is already way better than what I had with my previous character, and the previous character went for so much more of the game than this character. Like I can't believe it, how much of a difference. Okay, Ice Blast. Perfect. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hmm. Oh, for a second I thought that it was an evening star, but no, it's only a morning star. Anyway, let's go to Lair. And I was thinking of going until the end of Lair, but I think I'm just gonna leave it here. I already kind of lost concentration because I was talking too much. Um, so I guess I'm gonna have to tell you thank you for watching and thank you for hanging out. If you enjoyed what you saw, you should consider following, of course. You don't have to, but I would appreciate it if you did. Um, if you're already following, you should consider subscribing. Of course, you don't have to, but I would greatly appreciate the support like that. It really helps me a lot, like you wouldn't believe it. Um, I will be back with more crawl on Monday. Yeah, this character will continue on Monday, and Monday after that, um, I will be finishing my first and most likely only run of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup on tiles. I have been playing console for the almost 11 years that I have played Crawl, so it will be a new experience for me to play console. Um, yeah, we shall see how that goes. To be completely honest, when it comes to the console thing, I am only choosing to do it because I got requested to do it. Like, if it had not been for a member of the community asking me if I could do it, I wouldn't have done it. That's just how it is. I'm okay with console, and I don't think that will change after playing tiles. But yeah, I would like to kill this Hydra before signing off, however, and I am kind of afraid because with 6 armor class it will hit me hard if it does hit me, and I think it's got a very good chance to hit me. Uh, yeah, being the first level of Lair, I cannot really stair dance or like go down different stairs and then go up. So what I'm gonna do instead is go down stairs, like or rather I wouldn't be able to go up and then go down. I could also close the door on the Hydra. I think that's fine. I'm gonna close the door on the Hydra. Yeah, it gains me a fair amount of tiles, but nah, I probably should have just gone down in the first place. I was hoping that the Hydra wouldn't follow me. Ooh, the Wyvern sneaking in on me. Okay, this is fine. Scorch. Okay, now, ooh, Lair 2 elephants is kinda mean. I don't have the mana to kill them. This is not going well. Yeah, we just keep encountering crazy things. Okay, I'm gonna re-teleport. I wanna leave it at a stable position before I leave the stream. Magic mapping. Magic mapping. Let's go up different stairs. Alrighty, good stuff. Okay. Ran out of mana. Maybe Ice Blast will kill here, even if I don't have any training on it. Alrighty. I feel like soon I'm gonna try to go for Starburst. It hits a fair amount of the screen and it deals crazy good damage, so I think it's well worth it, especially with Behemoth. Hey, Buckler. Gonna get that. I'm gonna drain shields soon. But yeah, I feel like I should put it on before I end stream because otherwise I'm gonna forget about it. Okay, for shields, gonna turn it on. And yeah, now I am actually gonna leave it for real. I will be back to, no, not tomorrow, not tomorrow. Today's Friday, so I will be back on Monday with more of these characters I've mentioned, and I've already said all that I normally say, so I will be seeing you around, and I hope that you play some Crawl because Crawl makes me happy, and I I think it will also make you happy. Let's see if someone is playing Crawl so we can rate them. I always do that, and I never see people playing Crawl. Nope, the only person is me. And I don't see anything that I would like to host or rate. So we are gonna be ending stream. I will see you on Monday. Goodbye.